So then I'm like, no, but that's a great ski mask.
Man, you know, that's true. Man, you had warned me that we were going to do like the fake conversation thing, my dude.
I just wanted to bring you in with the awkward bit, you know, let people know that we're here to make video games live.
Whoa.
I see the AnyTimp here. I need to pull up the YouTube chat right quick to make sure I can see everybody.
I haven't pulled up the YouTube chat. It's just blazing. Everybody's having a good time.
I've been doing Street Fighter combos, if I'm being completely honest. Like, oh, nope, that's audio. Now I can hear us twice. Mute that right away. I don't want to see any of that. That's confusing.
Well,
all right.
Hello, both YouTube and Twitch. I had both of the comment streams up. So I see everybody. Hello.
I see Corp Level Ninja in the building. What's good, brother? Hope you're enjoying Street Fighter 6. The AnyTimp is like, wait, really? So, I don't know. This is the thing about me. I will intentionally mispronounce Twitch names because it's fun. Also, it's exciting. Yo, YouTube, I hope you're well. I see Sergey. I see Pughot. I see Naru. I see Gimpy. I see Red Snow. We're all popping off. I see Lindilius. Okay, we're here. And this episode's going to be a little wild. It's going to be a little different. So, first of all, Joy, I think we should start by introducing ourselves. Hi, I'm Thomas Winkley. I work here. I'm a technical marketing advocate for Unity Technologies on the education team. What that means is I go forward and tell the youths and also career-changing adults that you should make video games and help, you know, make sure you all know what free, cool stuff Unity gives educators and students and such.
Yay! Hello. I am Joy Horvath. I also work here. I'm a senior instructional designer on the Learn team, so I'm under the same umbrella as Tom. But I am partially responsible for all the content that you see on Unity Learn. So if you see any secret references to bacon or UFO games, that's actually directly me.
Yep, 100%.
That's my horrible influence to the platform. But also important to note, we are missing a teammate today. We aren't pretending that Utsov does not exist. Utsov is on vacation. Yay!
He's vacationing and relaxing.
Yes, he needs to. He works very, very hard.
Yeah.
He's very, very good at what he does, and he deserves his break. So he is here in spirit, and we love him, and he will be back next time. So,
Correct.
And he misses you guys all.
He does. He actually sent us a message this morning saying good luck. So,
yes.
So for those that don't know, let me share kind of what we're going to be doing. If this is your first time tuning in, cool. You can catch all the VODs on YouTube, on the Unity channel and the live series. We actually are going to put together a playlist as well to archive all of this. But basically the idea was see if we can put a game together in 8 weeks. You know, a couple hours in between here and there with some homework, and just see if we can get like a really fun basic prototype working, kind of go through the process. The goal here was not to be like we're experts and we're going to do everything expertly. There are systems we have worked with. There are systems we haven't worked with. As those that have been following along have seen, sometimes we forget how variables work. And, you know, sometimes the chat is like, yo, here's your code. What are you doing wrong? There have also been some pull requests on GitHub. I apologize. I still just haven't had time to look at them with a holiday in the US and then a holiday coming forward and everything else going on. Like, we're just, you know,
real job.
Yeah, with real job. But don't worry, we will look at those and we'll pull them together. So we took last week off because it was a holiday. Fun fact, next week there won't be a stream either because our wonderful producer Freeman needs to be building a stream studio, which is cool, exciting. And then we're going to figure out what to do about it after that because the week after that is also a holiday. So we're kind of hitting this weird Friday holiday season. So we're going to figure out where the thing is. So just make sure to tune in on Twitter, you know, keep an eye on Twitch, hit that follow button, and we'll figure, or YouTube, and we'll figure out like where all that stuff is going in and where things go live. So that being said, we need to, first of all, review what we have done and talk through the projects.
Well, not quite a code check yet, but like project review.
Project review, yeah, and we do need to do our magic scope check. So hopefully, oh, hello, Kitty. I see Pen's tail has made an appearance.
Yes, he is here. He's doing his annual check-in. He's checking all the streams. Do you approve, Pen? Is this good? He doesn't care.
Pen's like, I was just thinking there were snacks, and now there's not snacks, so I'm disappointed.
Yeah, he's very disappointed, yes.
Yeah, there's snacks. So I guess if we pull up program, we can show you all kind of where we're at with the game. So the homework for last week, Utsav was supposed to finish up the player input controller because of vacation time and stuff. I stepped in and did that. I was supposed to get all the pooling behaviors locked and loaded and make sure everything was functioning and get like a loop going. And then Joy, you were going to make this game actually look good.
I just threw a couple things together.
Just a few small things. So let's go ahead and pull the game up and we'll show you kind of what we're working on here. So first of all, I love the color changes you made.
Thank you.
It really, stuff really pops here now, right? That we have like the yellow stanchions, like the barricades, which I think is kind of fun that we have these like cattle barricades in a school almost.
Well, I mean, okay, like I realize that again, like the American high school experience is very varied, but at my school we had like metal dividers to get into line. Yeah, so I figured like, hey, let's have these, and then like the idea is that students are supposed to get in this line and then wrap around all properly, but there's no way they actually will do it. But I'll tell you what does do it. Some zombos get in line. Mm-hmm. It's very good.
And that's actually super fun when we were playtesting this morning just to make sure things are working. Like seeing the zombies and the skeletons like queue up inside these is pretty funny. I think it's also worth noting, like, I love the texture you added to the floor. Like this blue and gray check is really like nice. Someone said in the chat, right? Raren said it looks more and more like a cafeteria, and I couldn't agree more. Like that was the thing I was struggling with when I was trying to put stuff together is I was like, this looks like a room, right? And I feel like you really
gotta have the checkered floor. Like every place where food is, there's a checkered floor. Yeah. I don't know why, but it be true. And you got some garbage cans. You got some posters.
Look at this poster; it's so good.
Should we do a poster review? Do you want me to drive?
Let's do a poster review. Yeah, you go ahead and take over. I'll take my hands off the wheel and let you do this thing.
Whee! Okay. So every cafeteria needs like really like kind of jokey posters.
Yep.
So and because I'm terminally online, I had to put in a reference to a meme that probably like only 50 people have seen, but we've got our clown snack going reduce, reuse, rekiki. So there's that. But then the rest of them are just like classic.
Did I freeze or did Joy freeze? All right. All right, so we got some classic posters. We might have a frozen Joy for the moment.
No!
Oh, you're back. Your voice works.
Okay.
It's just your video froze.
Okay.
So I'll
this
drive
should
for a
pop
minute.
back in a second. Yeah. So I will be back. It's just that my my computer had a little bit of a freak out and it switched to my other computer. But yes, so I will narrate while this comes back.
So let's go to the zombie poster. This is a great poster.
So as we all know, but it's really an important message, food good.
Yep.
So we have our Zombo friend here reminding us that food is good. And then milk also good. There's no bones about it. I also want to point out that I did follow the school rule and everything is in Comic Sans. I really tried super hard to come up with the worst puns, and then the skeleton or the not the skeleton, the vampires on the other side.
Let's see if I can.
Yep.
It's weird. My can I fly? I'm gonna right click and fly.
Yeah, fly.
My zoomer is really mad at me right now, so we'll just do this.
Fly like a vampire. Remember to say
thanks. So we got the nice touches with like the fun, goofy things here, which I really like. We also, all right, cool. We also put together. I don't see Joy's camera, but let's see if it comes through for the stream at least. At least it's coming through on source, and that's what matters. We also have like our tables set up, right? So our reload tables are here, and we've kind of cordoned them off into this area. So we've got our pie table, our taco table, our hot dog table, and our sandwich table. And this was actually really easy to do. And, you know, basically set up nicely for just fun, exciting stuff. And because Joy had already built what we needed to make the collection happen, I really just had to repurpose those assets and flip them over. So that took me almost like 10 minutes, maybe. And that was actually the same with the object pools. Everybody say hi to the airplane that's like flying over my house right now. So yeah, we've kind of got things up. This is the pizza thing, which we still have not set up our pizza reload. That is the one part that we need to finish in the game, is like our pizzas do not work yet. And that's something I just ran out of time to work on. So the other big thing we need to jump on is show you the code we wrote in the break. So let me just kind of get some project windows pulled up. Maybe. There we go. So we'll go to our scripts folder here. We'll jump into mono behaviors. And let's go look at, we already talked about pools, but I want to talk about our spawning stuff. So if we go to, let's see, is that under waves that I put the spawn manager? Let's see where I put this. It's util. Okay, so spawn controller. So basically, we had to change how our spawn manager interacted. Hey, you back. So the spawn manager originally, WaveCut says you can't hear stuff. Like, you can't hear me? Did we lose all audio? I can't hear Joy. I just see Joy's mouth moving.
Yay!
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
All right, we're good. Audio's back. Okay, cool.
We're fine.
All right.
Everything's fine. We're good.
Whew, what a Friday.
Take a week off and then we forget how to computer.
So basically what we had to do to connect to the pooling systems, right? So the whole purpose of pooling is that we're not instantiating an object every time we create a weapon or every time we create a zombie, right? We just want to grab it from the pool and send it back to the pool. And we wrote all that functionality last week. So what? Oh, you can't hear the plane. Oh, that's good. Yeah, good old noise canceling. So what we have now is we need to go get things from the pool, right? So I believe inside this script, which I haven't looked at in a few days. Let's see, wave manager, enemies and scene. So we have our spawn here. Yeah, so our enemy has an object pool. And so what's going to happen is we're going to select an enemy type. And this is the script you wrote, Joy. So if we go to select enemy type, is it in this script? Yeah,
yes.
Let's see. So inside the script here, you'll see we can go select an entity type, and we actually have an array of enemy pools, or a list. I was just lazy, so I hard-coded a list of enemy pools because there's only 5, right? And so we need to get the skeletons. They were number 2. We need to get the vampires. They were 1. Zombos were 0. And then a default type is a zombo at 0. So basically, we're just grabbing the pooled object so that we have access to that pool, right? And so once that happens, all we have to do is say, hey, object pool, get me a thing, right? So it's that easy. We just call object pool.get, set it here. We get the pooled object behavior, and we need to set the spawn controller. The reason for that is the spawn controller, once it's set, has a function to return the thing to the pool. So we just wanted to make sure that's set. That's just registering it there. Then we make sure we add the transform to the array of enemies in the scene, and then we add the enemies to the wave count to basically say, hey, this is how many have been instantiated this wave, or grabbed from the pool this wave, I should say. Then we turn off the nav mesh agent. Then we move the position to where it needs to go, to one of our spawn points. Then we enable the nav mesh agent. This was to fix the issue where our monsters were spawning off the nav mesh and then not moving, or spawning in weird spots. Then we iterate on our spawn location, and we go back through all this stuff again. So that's pretty much what we built here. And then to make sure that our enemies work, I wrote another behavior, and I just minimized that, which is a mistake, but that's okay. We'll go to our pools, and I made a pooled object behavior script. And all this does is it has the object pool that it's tied to, and it has the spawn controller it's spawned on. So you can set the object pool, and then you can set what the spawn controller is. So basically, the spawn controller will just say, hey, I spawned you, this is me, and it injects itself in so it knows it exists. And then the set object pool will just be like, hey, set what my object pool is, right? So as it spawns something, it actually sets the object pool as well, so it knows what to do. And then when it's time for the object to be removed, when it destroys or dies, we're just going to call spawn control.remove destroyed enemy, and that will actually remove it from the spawn controller, so that we now know we have less of a monster, or less of an enemy, I should say, right? So we have like a pool of enemies that are spawned, this will take it out, and then if we go to my object pool.object-pool.release, the game object, then it sends it back to the pool. So that's really, instead of destroying and instantiating, we're just grabbing from pool, sending back to pool. And
now, Tom, why is this so important for a game like ours where we're going to have a bunch of enemies on the scene?
Yeah, so this is really to help us reduce performance problems, right? We want this to be nice and fluid. And so by doing this, all of our pools are actually instantiating at start. So when the game starts, all of our pools are appearing, right? And being set to inactive, and then we can reach them. So it's going to reduce taking up memory to create something, and then taking up memory to destroy something. And I do also believe that there's going to be a lot less garbage collection because we're not destroying and instantiating stuff, which is going to stop any hitches. So it's just going to allow us to utilize a lot more objects without having to panic as much, right?
Yes, very true.
Because we're still going to have to think about rendering. Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's one thing that a lot of newbies tend to underestimate, and that's the cost of actual instantiation and destruction. Like, those two actions aren't free. And while I think a lot of people eventually do pick up on the fact, like, oh, I am bringing something into the world, something new needs to be rendered, there's still an associated cost with getting rid of an item. Right. So it's far more effective to just reuse that item and just turn its visibility effectively on and off. So it's still in memory, it still exists, it's just not on the screen for the player to see. So the player thinks that they're dead. Little do they know that they're just hitting the same zombie and over and over and over again.
Or zombies having the worst week of their life. Like,
I mean, think about it, like, things may be bad for you, but at least you're not a recycled zombo.
But at the same time, this is actually kind of good for the recycled zombos because they're just getting fed snacks. So, like...
True.
And for those that are like, this seems really complicated, I totally understand. We are 7 episodes in. We wrote all of the pooling behaviors and explained it 2 weeks ago. So if you're like, I'm lost. The cool thing is, you know, initially writing object pooling, you would write your own pooling setup. But now Unity actually has a pooling API that you can just utilize, which is really nice.
It's so cool.
So if you're lost, don't fret. Like, this is, you know, stuff we've been working on for 7 weeks. You can go back and check the old VODs and learn. But that's all the code.
Look at the project.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The only other code I added was making sure that our attacks worked, right? So if we go to our player controller, there's a couple things we're doing here. So Utsav was thinking about having like an aim behavior be separate from the movement behavior, and it just felt really complex to do. And so I actually ripped all of that out. Sorry, Utsav. And I just put rotation as part of movement. And it was really easy to do that once I ripped all his stuff out. So basically I went into the fixed update where we're moving, and it's literally as simple as if our velocity is not 0, like if we're moving, that we're just going to do a rotation, and we're going to use quaternion.look rotation, and we're just going to look at the velocity, and we're going to do it vector3.up is the rotation point. So like it's literally just like look the direction we're moving is all we're saying. Is, hey, what's our velocity? Look that direction.
And I saw that you added something to Sandy McStandenson so we could actually see that in action.
Mm-hmm. So I did. I gave him a nose, or I gave them a nose. So if you look at Standy, I just gave him this little nose.
Yeah, a little nose.
That way we know which way's forward.
Yeah, but I think that's really great. So when we're going through and we're testing this, keep your eye on the nose, and you could actually see that rotation in action.
Yep. I'm trying to think of what other stuff I wrote. The only other thing I had to do was
the tables. You did all the tables.
Oh yeah, I built all the tables. So really, I just took these tables and set them up according to the template Joy gave me. So I just put a bunch of food on the table. I actually literally cloned. So this food station object you have here, I just duplicated it, drug it over to the other one, reset the position, and boom, it was there. So we set those up, and it worked. And now we have a functioning gameplay loop. Because enemies are being removed from the list, we do have a thing that counts how many enemies are in the list. They're getting added as well. So now the game actually has a functional gameplay loop. So if you want, we can do a quick playthrough on it.
Ooh, I think
should we try to play
it?
And then we'll actually bring some testers in if that sounds cool.
Yeah. Yay.
Before we do that, we should probably talk scope check, because we do need to do a scope check.
Scope check.
So we have one more stream. Uno mas.
One more.
So can we add audio, add our player animations, which I also need to show you before we play the game, because I have those ready.
Oh, I haven't seen them. Oh.
Yeah, I'll show you the player animations. We have a bunch of animations from Stefano. So we've got to get our game sound in, our audio sound. We need to get a UI in. And we need to replace all the character models, which I figured we were going to do in the last stream. So can we do all of that in one stream with some homework in between?
Yes, we can.
All right, cool. I feel good too. So we will have a playable loop. We might even have a title screen. We'll see how far we get. But before we go play the game, let me open a folder here. Let's see, downloads. All right, perfect. So let's start with, so this, we're going to open this with VLC. Maybe. I'm going to mute his audio.
Oh.
So this is our walk animation for our little buddy.
Guys, we have the best artist. Oh, yeah, look at him go. He's so happy-go-lucky. He doesn't even care that all these monsters are coming after him. He's got it under control. This is Tuesday for him.
Yeah, like he's just out here cruising. By the way, Esteban might have a thought on this. Somebody's asking, is dots faster than C++? I mean, I think that's a deep optimization question, but dots is heavily performant, I will say.
Yeah, it's crazy fast.
All right, let's load this. Oh my goodness. There's so much audio. Mute all. Sorry. Stefano, all of Stefano's demos have like punk rock playing. So this is this is our throw animation. And look how much of look at his wind up. He's like,
so good.
Yeah. So that's our throw animation. Look like, so we got a throw animation here. So that's gonna get integrated next time. This is gonna have music again. It's gonna blow my ears out. So here is our death animation.
Oh no!
Splat, splat.
Oh.
I really like the death animation. Like, oh no, splat. Oh no,
that's
splat.
So good. Oh man, see, the thing about Stefano's work is that like you could see immediately how you could start integrating things. Like for each of those animations, I started visualizing particle effects, like a little like poof when he falls down, like poof, and then like the so good. Oh, I'm so stoked for this. This is great.
Please stop slacking me. All right, I've got to put my Slack notifications on mute, y'all. Got so much work going on today, just business. But I have to have Slack open because I have to be able to send parsec links to the homies. So yeah, we saw those are our animations that we're going to be rocking and rolling on, and we're gonna get those all put in next stream as part of our polish. So
that is fantastic. I am so excited. Like that's just going to add so much to it because, even with the environment, obviously that really did take us up a level. But I think once we get the characters in, it's going to start feeling super duper real. Yay!
Well, and I don't know if you saw this, Joy, because I know you've been busy, heads down, but Stefano saw all the Kenny monsters we're using, and he was like, I like them, but they don't match my hero. So he's actually going to redo all of our Kenny monsters as well. So we'll have like a really crisp style. Everything will look together.
Is he gonna sleep? Like, oh my goodness gracious!
Because he can recycle most of the animations, right? So he just needs to animate one character and recycle. But he says he can make it happen, and he was very adamant about it. So I'm excited because we're gonna have like fresh monsters, fresh animations, and we'll just need to like swap some stuff and do the thing. So okay. Cool. So that being said, we've seen all the things. Let's actually play this game,
and that will reveal the final thing that we haven't shown them yet.
Yes. Bloop. We have a wave counter. All right.
And hey guys, remember how we said we were going to make this an isometric game? It's an isometric game. Look at that gentleman going into line.
He's standing in line like a good zombo. So now when we shoot, they go away. Oh boy, I'm not very good at shooting. Eat a hot dog. No, run. Okay, we got to go over here. I'm going to dodge. Oh boy. Okay, now we got to fire a hot dog.
Get him. You got this.
Hot dog there. Okay, hot dog.
Yeah, all right.
I'm out of hot dogs. I'm out of hot dogs. Now we're throwing pies.
Oh no, there's a vampire. Oh, multiple vampires.
Pie. Okay, we got pies being flung. Oh, okay. Okay. Hit one to switch weapons again. Oh, the pizza's not complete. I forgot. I didn't finish making the pizza work. So we got to switch away from the pizza because it's just broken. Okay, we run this way now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're throwing tacos now. We're in taco zone.
Like left and right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So now the wave 2 hits. Triggers.
Yes.
So now I should use this as an opportunity to reload. So I'm going to hold F. And we're going to reload at our stations. So I can get the taco reload too.
There are so many more. Oh man, they're coming up. Run.
You're welcome, production. All right, let's see what else you got for this. So we're going to run again. We're just going to throw tacos and see if they walk into them with their mouths open. Run into these pies.
That's how they do. Yeah.
By the way, you adding doors to the spawn points is really, really cool. By the way, thank you for doing that. It looks really nice.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's just like, now it looks like they're coming into the cafeteria. Oh my god, there's so many! Okay. Oh, you're gonna be overwhelmed.
Yep. Worth noting, the player can't die right now. There's no way to kill the player, so we're just playing the basic loop and killing. With
the knowledge that one day you will die.
One day you will die, dark. Yeah. And now we gotta go shoot into here to stop the skeleton. Eat a sandwich in your corral, buddy. Uh-oh, I'm out of sandwiches. I'm out of all food. All right, so we gotta get some pies. No. We'll reload on pies. There you go. So that's where we're at with the gameplay loop.
It's so fun.
I can't believe we've done this in like 40 hours of work.
Maybe. But it's been so fun, and it's great to see something come together. Like, yay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That was so exciting. Like our first actual like play test with all of the components, the complete gameplay loop. That was really fun. Yay!
Well, and this is the first time you and I have ever worked on a project this in depth together, right? Like we've talked together a bunch, but we've never like coded together, which I think is kind of cool that we're getting to finally do that. So what that means now. Oh my gosh, a cafeteria lady swinging a ladle. Like, that could be like a power-up where she comes running through just whacking zombos with ladles. Anyway.
Actually, really quick, we had a good question at YouTube from TL Prod. What is used for pathfinding? We are just using Unity's nav mesh. And then the nav mesh agents are just going through and selecting the player as their target. And that's it. We are using the kind of extended nav mesh toolset that you download from GitHub, that is, officially Unity. But really, the nav mesh like package, or the AI navigation package, makes things so simple. Like back in the day, I remember like having to like kind of struggle around and figure out A star and stuff like that. But like, I really haven't needed to go beyond Unity default stuff for navigation in a long time.
Yep. I do think something I'm thinking about as I'm watching like the navigation happen with the enemies is I do think it would be fun, in a future iteration, should we continue working, to put like more of a randomization in there so that the enemies aren't all flocking in one motion.
And we can still do that though, because I haven't even put in like zones or anything or levels of importance. So what you're looking at right now is just pure default. So there's so much more we can go in and customize, which is really neat. So if you haven't played around with the navigation stuff in Unity or haven't looked at it in a while, I definitely recommend checking it out because it's pretty great. I really like it a lot.
And there's a really solid nav mesh tutorial on learn.unity.com that'll get you through how to use nav meshes. When I learned them a few years ago, I kind of just fell in love with them. So I'm glad we got to use these. Easy to bake, easy to tackle. Okay. So now I need to get a notepad open. Let me just open a Google Drive because we're going to do the next phase of our game. So it should be relatively smooth. But let's see, scope check 7, feedback notes. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bring some play testers in. So we've got Dana, we've got Esteban, and we've got Valeriy. I'm going to pronounce your name right one day, my dude. And they're going to come through and they're going to play test this game with us.
Oh, so exciting. Big pressure moment.
Big pressure. What we're going to do is we're actually going to bring them in via Parsec. So they're going to Parsec into my computer and play the build right in Unity. And just give us feedback. So let me set up Parsec really quick before we bring in. But go ahead and bring in Dana when you're ready. Freeman.
Dana.
Going to send her
Dana.
Parsec.
Dana. How long am I going to do this? It's getting exhausting.
But I think I hear her voice. So, Dana.
I hear Dana.
All right. So Dana is a...
This feels like behind door number 1.
Right? So while we get Parsec working, which I think I just gave you access to and you should be good, introduce yourself. Tell the people who you is.
I work for Unity.
Yeah.
I am on the social team. I work a lot with people that are on like the film and like industrial side of things. So things, but then also I love games. So I play a lot of games.
Well, you're about to play your new favorite game.
Yeah.
Or else.
All right. So you can. Oh my goodness! Stop messaging me. All right, I've got to give me 1 second before you cut, Freeman. I'm gonna like mute my Slack notifications somehow because they keep coming through. Dana, I'll need my mouse for just a sec.
Can I control?
Yes, but stop moving your mouse. Stop moving your mouse for just a second while I.
Don't worry, Dana. That's like the best part about Parsec. It's like it's this miracle software that allows us to do all this testing, but more than anything else, it allows us to troll Thomas.
It does. It is.
Okay, I compared it to in Overcooked when like everyone can control the bus in the beginning. That's like what it felt like when we were all on his computer.
Okay. I have disabled all Slack notifications. So now you can take over again. And Kesha, good to see you. Here we go. So you should be able to hit play in the editor. And then the arrow keys are going to move you around. X throws food and 1 toggles your food. So let's just see how comfortable you feel right now moving. Okay, cool. And so you start with all your ammo fully loaded, so you don't need to load anything up now. Oh, got him. Oh, zombie.
Yay! Oh my god. The stress. Fear the Walking Dead.
Don't worry, it's just the undead coming to eat you. It's not a big deal. Oh, Skellington.
Okay, so if you're out of ammo, push 1 to toggle your ammo to go to the next type.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Using polite cuss words. Shoot.
Wait, so the first thing I'm saying is we need to have some kind of UI that lets you know what ammo you're using and how much you have left.
Okay, pizzas. We're at pizzas.
And also, those garbage cans need colliders.
Yes, they do. You just ran through the garbage cans.
Stop.
Oh, no, you're stuck. Okay.
They pushed me under the table.
So I don't know if you can...
Oh, wait, but can I do pizzas under the table? And just like, did we discover a hack?
You might have found the hack.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think you're stuck. I think we found our first problem is they can shove you. All right, I'm going to grab some notes here. All right, so monsters can shove the enemy, the player, under the table. Must fix.
Okay, but it would be cool
if
you could hide, or like I actually was thinking like these nice chairs that Joy added. I'd love to like pick them up and throw them. Zombies.
Your immediate thought is more violence. I love it. It's like Dana walks in. Why are you throwing food at these guys? We have metal chairs.
We have chairs. Like, you could feed them, or you could actually use a weapon. Okay.
Wait. Okay.
Prior
so you gotta hit
Unity,
1 to
Dana
change.
was in the WWE.
Your Windows key. Your Windows key.
WWE.
Or WWF. WWF. The wrestling one.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, but what's WWE? Why do I keep hitting command instead of X?
Is World Wrestling.
Wait, I hit F to. Am I all out of ammo?
So press and hold F, and then you might be dead.
Those butt heads pushed me under the table once again.
Okay. So before you hit play again.
Oh crap.
That's all right.
It's just so fun. I want to keep playing.
Like I think it's a fun loop, right? I wanted to ask you a couple questions before you play again. Yep. So how I know, like when we moved the camera angle to be isometric, the control orientation changed a little bit. How does that feel to you? Does it feel fluid? Does it make sense? Do you find yourself stumbling or getting confused in the controls?
It took like some adjusting, but I think like once I got the hang of it, the thing that I kept fudging up, again look at me, I'm using so many polite cuss words. The thing that I kept like fudging up was the face orientation, because like I wanted to look at the zombies to shoot. But yeah, I think you get the hang of it. Like it's I wish that I wasn't hitting command instead of X. That's the thing that I kept doing that I didn't want to do.
So that's actually really, really good information.
Yeah, because I feel like for me, a more natural control button is like Control or Alt or Command.
Yeah.
Because you're on a Mac parsecing into my Windows machine, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh man, that's some complicated like mind bending there.
Instead of X, so maybe a different fire button.
Ooh. So Wave Cut over on Twitch suggests space to shoot.
I was gonna say space. I agree with them.
That's a really good idea because space is universally positioned. It's a big old button and shoots a big old important feature. Yep. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
I'd love if when I was hitting F, I could see the different ammo types.
Yep.
And like how many are left. Like how many pizzas do I have? Also, I was wondering if the pizza was gonna do more damage than the what was I using initially?
A hot dog is your default weapon.
Yeah. I was wondering if the okay.
So I'm just going here and referring to your pizza doles out a whopping 50 points. The pie is 40. Sandwiches are 30. Tacos are 20, and hot dogs are 10.
That's amazing.
So we need to implement that and make sure it's actually doing the thing. Okay.
I think too something that. Well, but actually, let's like stop giving the feedback and just like round of applause. You guys did it so fast. I feel like weird giving feedback on this because it's like y'all have pulled this off so fast. So yeah, just props to you. Yeah, but I was gonna say I would love if when I hit the zombies, there's like they turn red or like there's like a visual cue that lets me know like that hit or so you knew like which ones are missing. And also like a visual cue when I'm getting attacked that's like I turn red or something.
That's a really good call out. And I think that makes like a lot of sense. It would be fairly easy to implement. Because basically on the hit we would just like we could either do like an outline or just like a overlay material or something. That wouldn't be too hard to do at all.
It wouldn't be bad at all. I like the idea of throwing chairs. Like there's this thing in me that's like
like you I can't just get past use that. Any of the materials,
Well, and maybe the chair doesn't actually do damage, right? Because the zombie's still hungry. It just like stuns them and slows them down for a second. Like it hits them and their movement freezes for a given amount of time or something, right?
Yes. That's so fun.
I just have this mental image of like Utsav like snowboarding somewhere and then just stopping and be like, scope check.
They're adding features. They're adding features. I'm not here, and they're adding features.
Well, when Tom's away, the kids will play.
Okay. All right. Do you want to give it? Let's have you give it one more roll. I do agree that accessibility things should be considered here. We should definitely look at that. Like, we should do a pass on our color schemes to make sure that they're good. Now, I don't know if you, when you were doing the color layout, Joy, like, I feel like blue and yellow are pretty contrasted.
They are, but I did not actually run a screenshot through all of the, there are online like color checkers where you could track the different ones. So I will do that and make sure that it does pass mustard. Mustard?
So close.
Mustard. I have no explanation for that.
Now
you know what? It's
mustard.
because of all the hot dogs in the game. Mustard-based game dev.
I had one more request that I was wondering if this would be like an easy implementation. So I guess this is a request / question. A mini map that shows you like that has your person color coded as like blue and then like enemies color coded as red. Like I was wondering how is a mini map an easy thing to implement in a game like this, or like what would you have to do?
Technically speaking, implementing a mini map is actually fairly easy with render textures. But I think this actually, I want to dig into this a little bit more. Do you feel the need to have a mini map because you're having trouble keeping track of all the enemies on the screen?
That's a good question. It's like, I think the map is, the layout is very like simple. Like it's not difficult to like look around, but I like kept wanting a mini map. But I don't know if that's because I actually needed one or just because a lot of games that I play have mini maps. So it's like a reflex thing. Yeah.
Okay. Like mini maps are definitely doable. And the one thing that I want to check in and make sure on, and this is something that we should ask our other testers as well, is if they are feeling like they're losing track of where enemies are, because that could be an indication that we need to either adjust color schemes or scale or something to make it so it's very easy to see where you are and where the enemies are at all time. I know that things are going to change pretty drastically once we get the updated player and enemies in, for sure. So that's something that we need to evaluate again once those new factors are in play. But either way, if it means that we need a mini-map, we can definitely do a mini-map. Mini-maps are fun.
Ooh, I like this question from Ririn in the chat. Do you think part of that looking for a mini-map is you might be feeling a little bit lost because it was hard to see which way you were facing because of how basic the character
that's
was?
Probably true. Yeah, that's probably true.
Because, like, I mean, we put the little nose on there, right? The little, like, capsule just sticking out the front there, but it's not super visible. There's not very much of a silhouette right now because it's a cube with a thing. So maybe we could, I almost wonder if we should change our character to be like an arrow or something that's more, yo dog, I'm pointing this way-ish for now until we get our actual character. Because I think our actual character, see, Freeman said change it for an arrow.
Your character has the baseball cap. Yeah,
and that's on the top too, so it's a big head, so you're gonna see this.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna add that as a thought here.
Whoever said that in the chat is smart.
Is it a direction facing issue due to low silhouette visibility? Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna throw that out there. Okay. All right, let's do one more playthrough.
Also, on the color scheme note, I want to say I really like the blue and the yellow.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Compliments.
Okay. Yes, let's do one more play. We can cut to program. I just want to have you go one more playthrough really quick and give us any final notes before we bring on our next tester. For those that are just tuning in, I'm only smart between 1 and 2 Eastern. I get that. Me too.
That is a mood. Yep. Let's cut to program if we can.
Yep. All right. There we go. I find it interesting the way you're moving, because like I like to hold my movement like and just slide around, and you're being like very like.
Well, I'm like I so want to get him.
Ah! Yeah, I think we need to change that fire button.
Is that something we could do?
Wait,
pretty.
We could do it live, like
easily?
right now.
Yeah, we should do that live.
Go away, go away, go away.
Oh, I need to add colliders to the background as well.
Yep.
Noted.
I'm facing you. Holding F.
Yeah, so you have to stand in that area, and remember, it's each reload. Each reload is food specific, Dana. So you're out of hot dogs right now. So if you wanna, you have to go to the hot dog table on the top right to get your hot dogs.
This is interesting. There's a glitch that's happening when they get like really close to me. All of a sudden, I don't know if they've sucked the life out of me because they're vampires, but I can't move my person anymore.
Like your movement stopped when they blocked you.
Yeah, maybe it's like a weight thing. I don't know.
It could be that. It could also be because we're using physics for movement, and they don't have rigid bodies, right? The enemies, they only have colliders and nav mesh agents, I believe. And so they might be seriously occluding, they might just be walling you off from moving.
Hold on, let me just check this really quick because now I'm
I feel like that's very zombie-esque. That would be a really fun. Well, you're right. It depends on how cute or like cozy you want this game to be, but if a vampire could actually like, and then like your player is like stunned for a second while he's like sucking your blood. But that's not a very cozy game.
Ooh, you know what else it could be? That's actually a great call from Corp Level Ninja as well. So in Unity, when you're testing, if you click out of the play window, you lose all of your controls. So I wonder if when you hit command and it popped up the window, if you actually clicked out and lost your movement too.
That's what is it called when it's like between the chair and the computer issue? It's not the game.
Real quick, before we send Dana off, though, should we switch the fire button to spacebar right now?
Yeah. Why don't we do that and see if that makes things a little bit like flow better?
All right. So everybody, I like that a lot from Weekend. We could add like an aiming firing in front of the player, like maybe like a little like target line, like a ray or something.
Not to reference a highly popular game in this moment, but y'all know Tears of the Kingdom and how well, because like your Goron Sage, like he'll jump on your like whatever you build, and there's like this little dotted line that points to where he's going to fire if you fire him. And maybe something like that, where it's just literally just like boop boop boop, we're going this way, might be helpful.
Yeah, just like a constant aim that we see with like a ray. And you know what would be really nice for accessibility is if when that hits an enemy, the enemy like lit up or something, so you knew you had them targeted, like a, you know what I mean, like a lock on type thing, where you turn and when that dot hits them, whoop, they like whoop.
Okay, this isn't a. I know that this is supposed to be like game edits. Not like, ooh, cool idea, like we could add this, because I feel like that always happens with games, is like when you bring in testers, they add on all this shit that's like, well, that's gonna take forever to add, but it would be I'm still gonna say a homing missile would be so fun if like because I noticed also I like the color indicator on the enemies. Like I could tell that there were a couple different enemy types, but if like one of them would drop, if like every once in a while they would drop a unique type of food that would act as like a OP like some sort of homing food. I don't know what that would be. Or like a s'more or like a marshmallow that you could throw and it would like stick them to the wall. I don't know.
I'm right. So I'm writing all these down for potential future launches. I think also something that could change this feedback is the pizza doesn't work right now, because the pizza is something you throw and it actually detonates and shoots pizza slices out.
Shut up.
I just haven't got it finished.
I fucking love that. Yeah. No, you said, Thomas, like in a past stream, we all want to play a game, or no, we all want to make games so we can set things on fire or something like that. And I feel that way. Like I want a type, ammo type that like either sets things on fire or explodes.
Yep.
So yeah, just like this is so I love it. love this game. I love the cutesy art style. I fucking love the character that
Yep.
Well done.
Okay. Well, let's do this then. Thank you, Dana, for your time, for supporting us on this.
Thank you. Round of applause for
Go
Dana.
Joy, go Thomas.
We're gonna bring in Valeriy now, and he's going to give us our rundown on what to do, and then we're also going to update our fire button really quick before Valeriy starts playing.
Yeah.
So let me actually get Valeriy an invite to Parsec really quick. And then we will share, and I'll Slack it to him right now. All right, Parsec invite is out.
While you're setting that up, we had an interesting thought from the YouTube chat from Raphael G. Since this is an isometric, won't it be better for performance to create those objects as images with colliders, like it's done with walls in Counter-Strike? So,
that's not a bad idea.
It's actually not a bad idea, and a lot of the assets that we have from Kenny also include images. It's just that when we originally came up with this concept, we just had decided that it was going to be a 3D game, and we were using 3D assets.
Yeah.
And also, because the game is so small, we do have the advantage of a little bit more wiggle room as far as performance goes. So if we were going to say release this for mobile and we were going to implement like our multiplayer aspect and stuff, then yeah, going 2D probably would be more efficient, but we're okay right now because of just how small our game is.
Perfect. All right. Well, let me introduce, I think that's a great way to address it. And let me introduce Valeriy, who is our one of the software engineers on our education team. So once we pull him into the chat, I'll kind of let him introduce himself quickly. And
hey, nice to see you guys.
You as well,
hello,
buddy.
So yeah, I'm working at Unity, and I'm working at Learn. I mean, I make the stuff underneath Learn at unity.com. That's it.
So yeah, if you've been on the Learn platform, Valeriy and the people on his team are writing a lot of the code that contributes to it. Thank you for spending your Friday night with us. I realize you're like 8 hours ahead of us, so it's getting late. So thank you for taking some time.
I enjoyed.
Perfect.
Yay.
So we're going to update. If we cut over to the screen share really quick, I'm going to show you how we're going to change the fire button really fast. And then we'll save that and we'll let Valeriy play. So what we'll do here is I'm going to find our asset because we're using the new input system, right? So assets, actions is where we're storing those. And I'll just double click here. And we already have our throw action right here. And you can see it's mapped to X on the keyboard. So all I have to do is go to my path here. And I can actually hit listen and just push spacebar.
I love that feature so much.
So nice. And then I'm going to save the asset. And now we've changed our fire button to spacebar. It's that easy.
Yay! Oh, it's so good.
Nice.
The new input system, like once it's set up, is just
really
so great. Because like think about it. What we just did in a traditional, like using the old inputs system would involve going into the script, modifying some things. But now we're at a point where we could practically test the different inputs on the fly. It's like spacebar, no, that didn't work. Okay, what is T like? And just quickly going through and iterating. It's just mwah, chef's kiss.
I agree. This has been so nice. Like just changing one thing instead of having to rewrite lines of code.
Yeah.
Okay. So that being said, Valeriy, it's time for you to play and shoot the zombos. Remember, spacebar, not X this time. 1 to toggle your weapons, and then you hold F when you get to a pizza station to reload. So go ahead and hit play in the editor, and away you go, sir.
Okay. I started it.
All right. And again, not to be the corporate shill, but it blows my mind that you are thousands of miles away from us, and you're playing it on my computer right behind me. This is so cool.
It's crazy, right?
And you do start with.
I understood that there's a lot of tables, and I can take advantage of it.
Yep. Oh no!
I forgot that you changed the key.
Oh, yep. Space is the fire key now.
So,
I get so
Thomas,
confused.
as we're watching this playthrough, one thing that I'm noticing is that our testers universally so far do not realize that they're starting with ammo already fully loaded. So either we have a note for that, or we do actually make them go collect their ammo to start. I think one of those two things needs to happen.
Yeah. I think...
Nice.
moving to wave 2. I think we should like start them with full ammo personally.
And then just have like ammoed up or something.
Yeah,
some kind of
yeah.
indication.
Okay.
But also, when we have UI showing how much their ammo is, I think that'll be also a good indication for them.
Yep, I agree.
Yay!
I'm just doing the mouse here.
You're doing it. Don't let them get you.
I can.
Nice.
I can be side. I can hide.
You can hide.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they still know where you are.
Yeah.
All right. We were missing some colliders in the environment, but that's fine. Ain't nobody worried about that.
Yes, I will definitely fix that. See, what's really funny is that when I uploaded the redesign, I'm like, yeah, and then I had forgotten the colliders on the tables. So I went through and I fixed the tables, and I'm like, job well done. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Proceeded not to like get the other pieces, but I will fix that.
My.
So, oh my.
So much
Look at all those.
Yeah. So the progression is really aggressive. So I'm essentially just adding 10 enemies per wave and four extra. Every wave, 4 more can spawn simultaneously. So it goes from 4 to 8 to 12 to 16. We might need to consider that as like, is that too many?
Oh.
Well,
damn.
We will have to test with this, but like what this really feels like lunchtime at a school campus, because it starts out where like they're the kids who get in early, and you know there's a couple of them, but then all of a sudden there are hordes coming in, and they're all really hungry.
Like,
and so...
a zombie gets on his cell phone and is like, yo, they got pizza here, and then everyone starts flooding. Yeah.
Yes.
So the one thing I should notice is that I can't touch them until they block me. Yeah. That's not that deadly touch.
Okay.
And also the controls. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, that the controls maybe. I don't know. You should try it. But right now we are moving in this perspective view, and kind of it's not corresponding with the arrow keys. I mean, maybe we should. Maybe we should want to redo it like, I don't know, like if I press the arrow, I do a diagonal movement.
I think you're right. No, I think like your brain wants left to be true left, right?
How do I?
Oh, you're dead now. It's over.
Oh,
wait, you can't push it through the collider.
Oh, but there's no escape. There's so many.
I found a feature. Yay! Oh.
Oh, you did it. Okay.
An interesting question from Nymph Dev asking if we're using raycast or spherecast to detect. We're not doing any casting at all, actually. We're not raycasting anything. It's all just the nav. We're just using the nav mesh and nav mesh agents to find the player, and then they're just adjusting their target position based on where the nav mesh agent exists.
Yep. So nav mesh agents have a set destination, and so we just set the player as their destination, and then that updates.
You get an idea about the movement. What right now I'm moving her diagonally.
Yeah.
And that way I can correspond it with my arrow keys. So.
Yep. I think you're right. Like we want we want left on the keyboard to actually be left in the game versus left like we want left to go diagonal. So we'll have to think about how we map that out.
So that's in the old way of doing controls. That's fairly easy to set up, and I suspect it'll be largely the same. So there's one or two things that we could do. One, we could be like, hey, Utsav, we want to make a small adjustment. We need this to be isometric controls, or we could switch this to an isometric front, and then our controls will be correct. It's just that we won't have the isometric angle. Those two options, I think, is where we're sitting.
So we either do adjust camera or adjust controls. And I think what we can do is, we've got a couple weeks to kind of research stuff. Yeah, now it's going to get crazy. So wave 5, which means 20 enemies can spawn at a time. And I think your max enemies for this is like 30 something, 40 something. Yeah, I love it. That's it. It does feel like the zombie hordes are hitting you though, which I really dig. Like it does. I do like that it feels overwhelming when you start to get in high numbers, right? And that's where I think the pizza bomb would be helpful, because then you drop a pizza bomb, boom, it clears out a wave.
Imagine right now it'd be like,
yeah, and you just like blah, 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 blah.
So for now, I have no health.
Yes,
Yeah?
so you can't die. Yeah.
See how I control him. I'm under the table.
Yeah.
Also.
Yep.
Yeah, that's at
we
the
need
end
to
game.
fix that issue. Yeah. Cannot be hidden under the table. All right. So.
Yeah.
All right. So there's the notes I have from you so far, and then we're gonna ask you some more questions. So Joy, you called out that we're seeing players are automatically trying to refill right at the beginning. So hopefully UI will fix that, but we need to test for that. The control orientation feels confusing, and I agree. Like left needs to be left, whether that's diagonal in the world or if it's we rotate the camera. So we'll check that.
Also consider WASD as the alias.
Oh yeah. So that's interesting that it's not allowing us to use WASD as a movement. I wonder if that's something in our asset we can change.
Wait. Okay,
test it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm testing real quick because like.
So I wonder if WASD is working, but because the fire button is now that we move fire button to space, it might not be an issue.
Let's see. Oh, it's working for me.
Okay.
Oh, that's
okay. So WASD does work. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Whew.
So
like,
yeah,
wait,
I
could have sworn.
And I think I was guiding people on the arrows originally because the X button was fire, and so WASD plus X wasn't really like your hand would be sitting like this on the keyboard. Yeah. So now that we have spacebar, you can even fire with your thumb.
Nice. Yeah.
Also,
how did spacebar feel? Oh, sorry.
Spacebar is good. I didn't try it with an X game, but spacebar is pretty comfy. I believe if I'll play with WASD and space, it will be absolutely fantastic. Also, I have one idea. As we already have character moving using physics, I believe.
Yeah.
What do you think about adding some inertia? I mean, sliding.
Oh, so
stuff. Yeah.
I do like that. Like
the floor is slippery and so on.
Yeah.
Add some acceleration to it while you're running and so on.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm adding that in there. That's actually a really good thought that we could try to implement. I also want to call out Lasha in YouTube chat. Was like, well, why don't you just move the camera to isometric front?
Yeah.
And then just rotate the environment. Yep.
Why? With that?
That should do it.
Yeah.
Can we try that really quick?
That's great.
Yeah.
Great
let's do it live. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I really want to try that out. So let me make this.
Also, Thomas, I've actually I've thought about it earlier, but I think that might be great trying. The food should not fly away. I mean, it should gravitate and it should leave a decay.
Okay, so like almost have some weight to it or some gravity to it when you throw it.
Yeah, and then it splashes on the floor and paints the floor all over. Yep. So for the latest waves, it will be painted all over. That's
I like
maybe
it a lot. We could use decals.
Maybe add some physics to chairs so zombies messing it up. I mean, dragging it around and so
on. Why are we rotated all weird? Wait, am I looking at the... Oh, goodness, what is going on? You know what? There we go.
The camera...
moving. Come on.
So leave the camera not rotated. Leave the camera... Oh, yeah, do the 180 switch. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm dumb. Ignore me.
You are not dumb.
And then angle it down on the X, right? And then that way we can just...
36 point...
I think your number lock's off. Yeah.
My numlock is on. Your numlock might be.
Let me.
Hold on.
Right,
36.426. I'll just use the regular. Okay, there we go. And then I'm gonna go over to the game view, and then 180, and then that's good. Then let's doot.
Live adjustments, friends. I like the idea of Valeriy of doing the of like having the food splatter, right? Giving some weight to the food. So like it's almost like we do like an upward arc. And I think I have to do that for the pizza bomb anyway. So that would actually be a universal behavior we can set up. And then the only difference is when the pizza bomb hits, it has a further behavior. So it's a very easy implementation. So I think that's a really good way to Just take a look at that.
I imagine
No.
this
Ooh.
that are covered all in mustard.
Yeah, like
It's
yellow splats and red everywhere.
The zombies may leave some green splatters. I don't know.
Yep. I think that would be a really nice like polished edition, right? Of having all of that stuff.
On the side of user interface, yeah, it lacks the indication of the current ammo and the ammo counter.
Yep.
A lot. Also, there was a thought about minimum, but what I'm trying to think is that you need to outline the player somehow. I mean, put an arrow on it, or maybe
like make it more obvious that they're the player.
Yeah. Because where there's hordes, I mean, if I'm on wave 10, I would be confused just by the fact that so many moving targets around. Yeah.
Let's see.
All right, here we go. Joy has the adaptation. I'm putting notes in here, by the way. I've got a Google Doc that we'll share out.
Cool.
Let's see how this looks though.
And
That's it. That's it.
Oh.
That easy.
Oh,
so,
I love game
what do you say?
guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lasha. Yeah, this
That's
is beautiful.
it. That's what I'm talking about. It's,
Wait,
Yeah.
it's a
wait.
lot better.
Who told us to do that? Who told us
That
to
was
do that?
Lasha in YouTube chat. Yeah.
A+.
A plus.
Deal,
Look at that.
deal.
Everything makes like it already feels more fluid just doing that.
Yep, but I just realized that I misrotated.
Yeah, the
food
tables
stands
is
need to be
lost.
fixed.
But we
But,
can clean those up.
Oh yeah, they just need to be shifted over a little bit.
Yeah.
They didn't make it into something that I moved. Here, let me
Oh,
go
wait,
ahead
you
and
don't-
Pick
fix
up
it.
an ammo.
You don't put food. You don't put food stations in the window there.
Nope, that's not a typical design. But man, that is so clean. Like,
Yeah, it's so much better.
guys, that was such a good suggestion. Thank you.
This is why collaboration in game dev is so important, right? Because when you get so close to a project and your brain just starts thinking of all this other stuff, you miss easy stuff. Like, just rotate the environment, dummies. Like, that is so easy.
Roops. Let me
Roops.
fix the points. The spawn points are all. Actually, you know what? No, it's easier this way.
Thomas,
it's
just
easier.
try it. It's a lot enjoyable.
Yeah. No, I think the control call out is really good. Like, and that's the goal of a feedback session, right? We want to come out with a more playable title. If there's stuff we can fix quickly, awesome. If there's stuff we can't fix quickly, yeah, it's really fun.
Let's go back.
Okay. So now that this is there,
Oh, and then a little more
I'll let you figure
here,
out your thing. Yeah.
and then go it over here, and then go right. Yeah, I think this is fine. Man, I cannot.
I'm gonna.
So
Can I
smart.
play it really quick? I just want to feel the
Go for
controls.
it.
Like,
It's
Try
our
it.
viewers are smart. We're so smart.
yeah, like, oh, and like the fact that with spacebar we can play it one-handed now is so
It's
nice.
just-
Yeah.
Oh no, my keyboard gets stuck. I need a new keyboard. my spacebar gets stuck from being an old computer
Yeah.
that I spilled coffee on. Yeah, this just feels so much cleaner.
So good. So
Oh,
good.
is there a look, they're getting stuck? This is weird. What?
Yeah, something off.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, because we have to rebake the nav mesh.
Yeah, the
Because
nav
they
mesh is
just
all
shifted.
sorts of messed up now.
That's okay. We can fix.
But- The controls feel a ton better. So, Valeriy, thank you so much, brother, for coming on. Chat, just so you know as well, Valeriy has been moderating chat for us as well. Has been, oh yeah, that nav mesh don't look right.
Boop.
So, yeah, just thanks for all your support. Thank you for all the work you do on Learn. Just thanks for letting us grind with you, man. And hopefully you stick around and chat. If not, we'll see you Monday, brother. And have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much, Valeriy.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Wow. So much education. Wow. We're doing it.
All right. So now that we've rebaked the nav mesh, we've adjusted controls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get feedback from one more person. Let me grab a Parsec link to share.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to bring Esteban on next. Let me just... Sorry if my voice is quiet. I've got to do some other computer clicking here. Where is-
Ryan's like, lol, nav mesh is slightly off. Yeah, I
Slightly,
mean, it's just
slightly.
like 45 degrees off. That's not a lot. That's like A little.
Yeah, it's just a tiny baby bit. All right. To my mouse. To my mouse. Esteban. Boom. All right. I have shot Esteban the Parsec link. I'll wait to approve him to join. And then we'll start getting things moved in.
Here, while we're doing this, like, this is where the magic of game dev happens. Because, you know, Thomas, just like you had pointed out before, like, we were sitting in and thinking, like, oh, we need to rewrite the controller. And then somebody who hasn't been, like, right their face in the project for so long was like, hey, actually, guys, why don't you do this one simple thing?
Yeah.
And it works so well. And it's like, this is why game dev is so great. And this is, like, I primarily do, like, independent development, like indie dev, but, like, alone. And this is what I feel like I miss out a lot on by that. It's like, it's really nice to work on your own projects, but you miss the utter genius of your fellow devs. And, like, everybody has something to offer. And it's just so cool. You guys are so cool.
Wow, thanks. We're just waiting to see what if Esteban's able to join via Parsec. We might need to do a little baby bit of troubleshooting, but we can always audible as we see fit. My nose itches. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, right? And having, like, the chat here to support has been so nice. Like, having all of you here to be like, listen, guys, let's fix this. Like, we only joke a little bit about Twitch GPT and YouTube GPT. Like, it's the collaboration that makes this so fun and so cool. And the game's, like, turning out kind of fun. Like, I wouldn't say, like, you know, I don't think I'd put this on Steam tomorrow, but I would very comfortably put another month or so of time into it. And then here's Esteban. Beautiful. Accept. Yay. And then we're going to make sure he has keyboard and mouse access. Then let's minimize a few things.
Since you're over there, turn on numlock.
It's on. It's on for me.
Oh.
All right. And then we're going to see if our homie is joining us slowly. So Esteban is a senior advocate at Unity. He spends a lot of his time in the Unity gaming services space, but he's just a brilliant developer as well. He's from Puerto Rico. Introduced me to a ton of amazing PR devs at GDC. And I'm actually, like, we haven't done a workshop or anything together, so I'm stoked for him to be here. So I'm not sure when Freeman is ready to pull him over, but I'm sure he will. But if y'all don't know Esteban, yeah, there's the mans. What up, dude?
Hello, everyone. By the way, Thomas, thank you for the intro. That was amazing. And web everybody who's listening in, who's from Puerto Rico or on the diaspora. So very happy to be here. By the way, I gotta congratulate y'all. I missed a few episodes, but oh my god, this game looks so much better from what I remember.
That's all joy. That's all joy this week. Yeah.
Dang, joy. Honestly, that's like good job. Like last time I was remember the Enum stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. We do.
No, like that's something that I will never forget. Like that's gonna be like 60 years from now. I'm gonna be like in a wheelchair somewhere, like looking out at like I don't know something pastoral and picturesque, and be like Enums. Like that's never going away.
Oh okay. No, but I'm glad that it's looking good. It's looking so much better for real. All right, I'm ready to play this. I've never played this, so
cool. So I'll give you a quick rundown. So you're gonna start with all your food already, so you don't need to reload right off the jump. There's 5 food types, I believe. The number 1 key on your keyboard will toggle through the types. We don't have any UI right now, so you just kind of have to guess which one you're on. Spacebar fires food, and then WASD or the arrows move you around.
Cool.
And you can't die. So.
And I can't die. And it was to make sure it was 1 to reload, right?
Or 1 to change food, and then when you need to reload, you're gonna go to a table and hold F. Yep.
Hold F. Okay.
Yep.
All right. F for food. There we go.
F for food. Yep.
Right. All right. Let's see how I do. And...
Okay. Yeah, you know what's silly is just putting the solid blue background instead of a skybox, like really tightened up the look.
I love using solid color backgrounds for my cameras. Like when you're going for a cartoon look, that's the first thing that I'll do. If
look at these close shots, like you're coming in and getting personal with these monsters.
Man.
Oh wait, true. Need to get
okay, so you're out of hot dogs. You got to go to the hot dog table on the top right.
F. And I think I'm good. No. Oh, top right.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, go in there and now hold F. Okay, now your hot dogs are reloaded. Oop, now you can shoot him again. And then if you want to change food, you can press 1. The next one is going to be a pie. Yep. So now you're shooting pies.
I love it. even though I've seen, I saw Dana and Valeriy play, but still, like, when you get your hands on it, that's when you that's when you get the experience. Take that and take that.
Oh, you gotta pies. You gotta switch
food.
You gotta get it more.
And the pizzas might be broken.
Yeah. What's jumping out at me here is that now that I'm looking at it, and the fact that you had to say where the hot dog was, we need to make our table food pop more. So from this angle, it's very clear, like, that's a sandwich. Like, I think sandwiches read okay, but hot dogs and tacos are hard to differentiate, and pies just look like white circles.
I almost think like we need to make the food brighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like,
and have it like,
the colors
like a rotating sign, like one big object that just spins.
A big one that rotates. Yes. I really like that. We should do that.
My pizza's no longer flying.
Like, pizza be broken.
So
the pizza is broken. It doesn't work right.
I see. And I remember that you did mention that there's no. There we go. Finally, there was no UI, so I don't know really.
Yeah.
There's 4 foods in total, right? Correct?
I think so. Yeah, you've got taco, sandwich, pizza, pie, and hot dogs. You've actually got. Yeah.
Okay, okay. These zombies now mean business.
Yep.
They're coming up. You got a skeleton in the line too.
Yeah, I like to call out from the bull that like Esteban sat down is already already speed running our game. Like you've already.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
There's so many monsters now.
Oh my. Hold up. Get some food.
Run. Okay, remember though, when you get the food, all right. So here's a question. When you reload, should it auto switch your inventory to the food? Because I feel like you're reloading and then you're still having to switch your inventory.
Correct. And I guess I'm assuming like the food that I get, that's the one that I want to use. At least that's my instinct.
Yeah. So I think we should probably, when you reload, we should also toggle the food to that type.
Ooh. So we're getting like a lot of really great comments across both feeds. So we have a color experiment to do between playthroughs, but also over on Twitch, Freeman brought up an interesting point around not seeing the whole map, but be zoomed in a little bit more. So there's kind of like some camera movement following the player as they move. And that would make the game more immersive. That could be a really interesting approach too, something that we would want to experiment with. The only thing that I'm unsure of, well, no, never mind. I was going to say only thing I'm unsure of is the camera, but
I think you're dead. I mean, you're not dead, but I think they got you.
I'm assuming that once they all gang up on you, just assume you're dead.
And I love the accidental effect that they're all chasing it, so they're going to push you out the door for some reason. Like they just kind of start. Oh no, now we're all stuck. All right.
Yeah, definitely. I know the intention. Imagine like this is them eating me, and that's the blood splurting.
Yeah. We already have the pizza sauce. So we can just reuse that. Yeah.
Nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and restart it. Is that okay?
Okay, cool? Go ahead. Yeah. Yep. And there's no. You'll just have to kill it and restart it in the editor. Yeah.
Really quick before you press start again. Oh well.
Wait, my bad. You were saying, Joey?
Can I just try a color thing really quick?
Yep. Sure.
Let me go to the main camera. I just want to try this.
And while Joy does that, so your notes so far, you were saying when we reload, it seems like your natural instinct is to try to use that food immediately. So we should be switching the food. How did the controls feel with the changes we made? Do they feel pretty fluid? Do they feel pretty tight?
Feel really good.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, like this is the first time that I'm actually using Parsec, and like
it's wild, right?
It's pretty dope.
It's
like
wild.
I was a little bit worried. Like, but it's like, no, wow, this is so far so good. And all of you, during the streams, all of you have control of your camera, right, Thomas?
Ooh,
and that's how you crop. Oh wow!
Yeah.
Joy is like when we were coding together. Me, Itself, and Joy are literally remote accessing my laptop back here, and we're all just coding on it. That's amazing. So handy.
That's pretty cool.
I like that background color. What do you think?
It does contrast really nicely. Oh, come on, reload Parsec.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Okay,
no, it's fine. It's just not rendering for a second.
We praised it and it was like, oh yeah? Oh yeah, bet. Let me show you what I'm like when I'm angry. I do kind of like that yellow contrast. Yeah.
I just wanted to experiment with the strength of the shadows, but I'm not actually super vibing with that. Like, not really my vibe.
Yeah.
Because there was a question around like maybe we should do unlit and then splat shadows.
Yeah.
So I think the shadows need a little bit more adjustment, but I definitely do not like having dark shadows. I think that really detracts, but
I think lighter shadows are nice, yeah.
Yeah, and then but I really do like the background. It does draw the eye in much more. So anyway, that's enough art stuff. I'm gonna stop arting. Let's start playing again.
All right.
Back
so
to you, Esteban.
Any other
Definitely.
so I mean UI is definitely an issue. We've had that 3 times. Like we need UI, period. UI just needs to happen. All right, cool. I'll let you run again and just think if you have any thoughts while you're playing, feel free to shout them out.
Will do.
The bull has returned to us.
What up, the bull?
So there's a question around if there's going to be some UI work to display the ammo and whatnot. Yes, that is something that we are going to be working on next. Your mobile eyes do not deceive you. That is not in quite yet.
Yeah, and I think the decision we need to make at the end of the stream is if we're going to do, I don't want to say a crunch because it's not really going to be a crunch, but like we need to replace the player, get all of our animations implemented, add audio and sound design, and we need to clean up, like I think the level design is good. I think we're good there. I think then the really big thing we need to do next is, and then we need to get UI implemented. Those are our big 3 things we need to do to put a wrap on this game, right? I would think. And then from there, it's add the netcode functionality, the feature of netcode, which Esteban and I have talked quite a bit about. I think I'm ready finally to figure out how we can do that. So, but for finishing this series, I think like UI, character and animation, and sound are the last 3 things we need to knock out.
Yeah. And I think that this is going to be one of the situations where you're going to see like a very big jump in coherency in the game. Like we had this week with like the environment, but those final pieces are really where things are going to start making things feel more real. Audio in particular, it's going to feel like a completely different game once audio is implemented, and obviously the new characters will be a big factor as well. So there's still a lot to go, but it's like gonna be good.
I would also like to look at, so looking at like, as I've been working with the food that we have, the food we're using, I don't like the color of the food. Like it's very gray scale. I wonder if we like, I want those hot dogs to be like bright yellow and the pizza to be bright red and the pies to be like, so they really pop. So I think we can try to find some tweaks there as well to really tighten those up.
Yeah, I agree. And this kind of goes back to what Lash was saying. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Esteban, what's up?
No, I was gonna say like interesting. I'm noticing myself that if you think about it, most of my play, I've never hit the the west corner of the map, since everything is I guess
you're never going to that left side.
Exactly. That's one thing that I noticed, that like really all like this square world, but you're really visiting maybe half or like 75% of it. As in. Like there's almost no need at the moment for me to go to that corner, or at least I don't.
Right.
That's how I'm interpreting it.
No, absolutely, because you're using like I'm noticing you're using the tables as a reload piece, right? And then you're just using the tables as an obstacle, which
should we move the tables so like they're like it's across the room?
I think different. I think the tables need to be more regional, right? And then
Okay, I mean, that makes total sense to me. And it was something that I was kind of wondering about myself.
Wow, you split that gap so quickly. Sorry. That was incredible. Man went between like 6 zombies. Anyway, sorry, Joey. Go ahead.
So, no. So what I could do actually is I could adjust the design of this. So like the stations are maybe in different quadrants. That'll up the difficulty level, but maybe that's something that's good. So yes, let me experiment around with the level design on this. I think I could do something interesting that will get the player running all over the map.
Yeah.
The
pizzas are broken. Sorry, man.
True.
Those are actually broken.
No.
To fix this.
No. It's all good. I forgot.
Let's see what else. Somebody said, "Oh, why is there nothing on the tables? They're too clean." That makes sense. I mean, these tables are literally
I'll mess
this
it up.
week and stuff. Yeah, we'll mess it up. It is a mess hall. It is a mess hall. We got to make it messy. Somebody asking, can you actually get hit by your own bullets? No, I actually set up the physics layers, and I have the food and the player non-colliding.
Oh my god, look at that line!
Oh, look at them, they're queuing up, and now they're all stuck!
The skeletons slowed everybody down!
They worked against themselves. That's amazing. Crap. Change. I always gotta look at the keyboard to like know, again, because I know it's 1, But
that's an interesting point too. What if reload was Q? Would that be easier?
That's one of the things I was thinking, like maybe Q or E.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like right off the finger.
It's less of a stretch because you don't have to take your hands off or your fingers off of WASD at that point.
It also fits really well for like our one-handed. Like right now on a keyboard, you can play this game one-handed except for reload, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two-player, and this would be wild.
And also, one thing, obviously, y'all mentioned it, and of course, if you haven't had time to implement it, that's fine. But like, since there's no UI, I guess really currently the best strategy is just to stick to one food and go back and forth reloading.
Yeah,
go back and forth, reload, and just kill off everyone. But again, like you mentioned, if you haven't had time to get to the UI, that's understandable.
I also think we should be. I agree with Anthony and Chad as well. E should be your cycle. We should be cycling with E, not with, so that you're like, again, one, because one feels like a stretch as well. Also, now you've got them all stuck and you can safely reload, and then you can just line them up and shoot them. That's so great. Lasha also asked, hey, is this open source? So in a way, yes. We do have had some pull requests on the GitHub. I just dropped it there. You're welcome to download it and do whatever you want with these files. Obviously you can't publish them and make money off of them, but if you want to like edit them, tweak them, do your thing, go for it. We mentioned earlier, there are 2 pull requests that I need to like review and check out, and I just have not had the time to do so. But yes, you're welcome to, download this, throw it into the editor, and mess with it as you like. So.
Oh man, look at all the
look at the queuing. Yeah, so this is where the chaos really piles up.
Exactly. Nice.
Like literally piles up. Man, those skeletons are out to ruin a queue.
Right?
Indeed.
That's why they don't let them at Disneyland. Like skeletons can't go to Disney because of this.
Specifically because of this, yeah. I mean, that's one of those like secret Disney facts. Like everybody knows that skeletons aren't allowed, but why is kind of the secret. This is it. This is why.
I like the idea of adding like healing stations and health or something in other parts of the map to force you to go there. And then, that kind of implements risk reward. And now you get a little breather. The zombos are stuck. This is fun.
I don't know if Dana or Valeriy mentioned it, but like, for example, skeletons, when they explode, like particles of bones.
Yep.
We got to do a particle effect pass on this.
Bone particles, zombie particles.
But this game, like Valeriy mentioned, like all the mustard and all the ketchup and particles they're gonna shine like crazy in this game. But honestly, I'm glad that I had to like play test it and everything. Like as I've seen a little bit of your development, so this is super cool.
Yep. So Lasha's asking about whether or not we have a Discord server. We don't have a dedicated Discord server for Scope Check, though. I feel like we should at some point. Maybe in the future. But for right now, what would be
if you post it in like the Unity, I'm in the Unity main Discord. If you were to post it in there, and you could just @Thomas Winkley, I will see it. I think that's probably your best option right now, because we don't have a dedicated Discord for this. And you're @Bacon.
I am Bacon. So if you @Bacon, though I think I might have changed my name to like my actual name in the Unity Discord server. I actually do not remember any longer.
Yep.
I identify as Bacon everywhere else, though. So.
And take into account, too, Lasha and anyone else thinking about this, we have a full character, and we also have new enemies coming in about 2 weeks from Stefano, our artists, and that's going to unify the style quite a bit. So I'm actually really excited to see those. I think it'll really help with like the angle and the visibility of the player. And man, I can't believe how much that controller modification really like tightened the gameplay up. It's crazy how just small stuff just makes a game better.
And that's like why polish is so important, like it's really great to get in with the mechanics, and that's why game jams are so great, because you get to really work your mechanics building muscles. But there's something so special about sitting down and adding in those tiny little polish details that just bring everything together. It's just, game dev is so fun. I love games.
I love it. So you have food pool, object pooling for all the food, for all the enemies. So it's,
we used the Unity pooling from the Unity API. Like there's a pooling setup, so it was like really easy to implement. Yeah.
And by the way, which version? Oh, 2021.3.22.
Yeah.
Okay.
We wanted to go to LTS, and now that 2022 LTS is out, we might be able to switch. But we started this before the LTS of 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Which which was a little bit of a stealth drop, by the way. Hey guys, if you haven't heard, 2022 LTS is out.
Yeah.
And actually, I upgraded as soon as it was released, and it's super nice. I really like it a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And I wonder if, because netcode, the latest versions of netcode is supported in 2022 LTS, I wonder if we decide to do a netcode version of the show when we turn this game to netcode, we maybe go 2022 as our version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It actually would be really cool to show the process of upgrading a project. So I suspect that it would literally just be shifting the version in this case.
I don't think we have anything like version specific here.
Really
we might have to update a couple packages. Yeah.
Like, can you imagine? Like, okay, guys, now prepare yourselves. Upgrading can be a real challenge. We click the drop down, and then it just opens. Like, yeah, man, whew, we did it.
It was tough. We hit the save button. Well, I guess while we wrap this portion, Esteban, any final notes on the game? So I've got, the food reload toggle UI needs to happen. The west corner of the map is really not usable right now. No one's going there. There's no reason to. Particles for zombies and vampires and bones. What else you got? Anything else that you felt that you were like, it would feel better if X? Like, we got some control changes. I think we had Q for reload or R for reload.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. Besides that, like the game looks amazing. The art style, I even love I almost never went into the west corner, but I did notice the more you know kind of poster. I love it. So I love the details. I love the details of it and the art style. And I would say keep the Joy, the food good. Oh, love it.
And we went over the posters. Yeah. Well,
Nice.
all of the posters are either a concept art piece or our enemies in game. And also with Comic Sans, because that is a requirement for all school posters. That's actually the law. It's in the Constitution. So.
Oh wow.
But yeah.
No, I love it. And the background color that you changed earlier, Joe, I would say keep that. Like, it contrasts the other colors more. I will say, like before turning this into multiplayer, I would like do a doc of like notice all the stuff that needs to be synchronized, sort of like a theoretical pass.
Absolutely.
But cool.
There's a lot we need to. I think there's a lot we need to do, right? Because all the pools are gonna have to be server side, and then all of the return to pool and send back to pool, the collision stuff. We're using physics for our movement right now, so we'll actually have to rewrite that, I believe, right? We'll have to use transform based movement.
Yeah, it would be for the best if you don't want to rely on having to make sure that all that physics accuracy is super set up. Like if you can have a client movement and then break that up and the server gets the updates from of the movement and the transform from the client, that would be good. And the cool thing is, even though it's a 3D world, it is a 2D movement. So there's gonna be an axis. Believe you don't really have to synchronize the Y in this case. You can hide that data. But
I think it'll work well. Yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully your schedule opens up, because I would love to bring you back for some netcode implementation sessions in the future.
Save us for another Enum episode.
I welcome that challenge, and I would also, and I would also say, like, if you can get somebody from the samples team, a netcode samples team, that'd be awesome as well.
Sick, get them to help us. Well, man, thank you again so much. Make sure you follow Esteban on Twitter. It's at Esteban Game Dev. You'll see him at conferences. Hopefully, he and I get to see each other at a conference soon. Yeah, man, I appreciate you, and we'll talk again soon. We're gonna summarize our documents and send the stream off. So thank you so much, brother. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Later. That's it.
Bye. Well, geez, that was such a good testing session, wasn't it?
I really think so. I was nervous going into it. Like, what were we going to get out of this? What were we going to find? And I think now we just have so much we can dive into. I guess what we want to do next is we want to look at all of our notes and then we just want to see what we can actually do, right? So this is where the scope check portion comes in, is like, what can we actually implement from all of these notes? And we want to like find the common themes of the notes. So I've got my note document up here. So Dana, was saying monsters can shove the player under the table. That's the thing we got to figure out. That's probably just a collision thing we can sort. Hide mechanic, I think it's a great idea for a patch later. I don't think that's something we can get done in our time frame.
Yeah, I agree.
Out of scope currently. Okay, let's go to, could we throw chairs as obstacles? I want that to be a thing, but I do think it's out of scope currently. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
That sounds so fun though. Could you imagine like the chaos of grabbing a chair and chucking it, and it like hits them and stuns them, and then you're like reloading, and anyway.
That'd be very good.
We fixed this.
We fixed it.
We already did this.
We fixed it live.
Yeah, so I think let's just do a little, is it Alt Shift 5? Yeah, Alt Shift 5 will do that. Cool.
Yay.
All right, face orientation. We think this will be fixed with our new character, right?
Right, so we'll revisit it once we get the new character in, but this may be already solved.
Okay. All right. Okay, we already did this. So command being pressed instead of X. So we changed the shoot button to spacebar.
Yep.
We just need UI, period. We're gonna bold that because we do. It's true.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna bold and italic it or underline it. Visual feedback for attacks. So like particles, explosions when they hit.
I think this is actually important because it's going to help make things like more visually apparent. So I think that should go into what we do next.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do that. Okay. This is a must.
Yes.
So for those that don't know, there's a checker you can run your screenshot through to evaluate the colors and give you like an accessibility run. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Joy? Because I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah. So this is something that is just becoming part of basic accessibility when you're thinking about designing color schemes for games. There are a lot of them online, and they come in various forms where basically you could take a screenshot of your game, upload it to the site, and it evaluates whether or not it's easy to distinguish the different components based on all of the different types of color limitations that people can have. So like red, blue, red, green, or like full monochrome, like all the way. There's a lot of them actually. And it'll test against all of these and give you a score based on each one. And while, you might not get everything perfect, your goal is to try and get it to really visible for as many people as possible. And the color is only half of the battle, right? So you want to make sure that your colors have good contrast, and even for people who see things differently, you could really identify that there are different tones. But also silhouette plays a huge role in this. Silhouette can kind of pick up any slack that your colors may be dropping. And then different types of visual aids for calling out important pieces as well, things like highlights, things that are kind of separating elements from the background, so foreground and background elements, all of these things. But yeah, if you just go online and like Google like color checker, you'll find a bunch of different resources. And also, if you go to Unity Learn, we have an entire accessibility course for game development that I highly recommend. It was developed by our good colleague Roz, who
Roz is awesome.
She's fantastic. She spent a huge amount of time going through and researching really big accessibility concerns for games and creating a course around them. And so highly recommend it if you're interested in accessibility for games. I highly recommend it because think about it this way. When you make your game more accessible, you're adding potential fans to your game. The more people who can play your game means the more people will play your game.
And I think that's a thing that you see with accessibility, right? Like you'll see the argument against, like if there is an argument against it to be made, I guess they'll be like, well, that audience doesn't engage with our product. Well, it's not that they probably don't want to, is that they can't, right? So you don't know what you're missing if they can't use it. So you should always be thinking about it.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying on that, so everybody kind of knows. Let's look at run. So this came up, the mini map idea, right? And it also came up with the idea of zooming in the camera a bit more so the camera follows. I think it's a cool idea. Do you think it's a cooler idea than all the stuff we need to add, and also the particles and juice and stuff we need to do?
I think our time is probably better spent elsewhere. And also, while that's good for like a one-player game, I wonder what the implication would be for once we make this a multiplayer game. So I think we should put this on the back burner, but keep this in mind as something that we should revisit once everything else is in place.
Pizza Bomb needs to be finished. This has to happen. So I will put that on my to-do list. Okay, so we look at Valeriy, and it's saying, players are all trying to reload automatically, and we're thinking UI is going to solve this, right? Because they'll see how much they have. Yeah. So this is going to happen. Control orientation, we fixed it.
Yeah.
I love that was so easy to fix.
It's so easy. It's so good.
Boom. We need to fix this. That's already marked, so I'm going to check it off because we already have an instance of that. Slippery floor with some inertia. Like, couldn't we just add like a physic material?
Yeah, no, that really would just be a physical material, and then maybe adjusting the rigid. Well,
we'd have to adjust our player controller as well, because I think we're setting the velocity directly in fixed update.
Oh, are we? Okay, that's a little bit.
So we're not adding force and then removing force. We're actually just saying your velocity is this. So we'd have to adjust our player controller to make that happen, but it wouldn't be too bad.
You know what? We're going to be touching the player controller once we get into netcode, so maybe this is something that we put on the table for later down the line.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like the quality of life update.
Yeah.
Added feature later, maybe. Okay, food. Okay, this I really want to do. I think giving the food like weight.
Oh, kaplop. Yeah.
Yeah, so like when you throw the food, instead of it just flying like a bullet, you'll actually it'll have like an initial inertia amount set to it, and it'll kind of fly, and then it'll splat.
So I assume that when it splats, it'll have a particle effect on impact, and then it'll be returned to the pool, because we can't have it just sitting on the floor. Okay, I like
so
that.
It's already
like
and honestly, like it's already anytime. So if it collides with anything, it just returns to the pool.
Okay.
So
yeah, then when it hits the floor, I like that. Yeah. So we would just add a particle effect and then obviously make it at the mercy of physics.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna add this. It needs to be more obvious to players there. I think this is important. We need to add like a UI or something over the player that's like they exist, right? I think it's an accessibility thing when it starts getting chaotic. So that's my thought. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. We definitely want to make it very clear. I wonder if this is another instance where we need to see what the player's like in the game in order to identify precisely what we need to do. Yeah. Or maybe we just have a UI element like at the character's feet that has the arrow always pointing their direction.
Yeah, and just like and it's just like a fixed thing, right? And it doesn't have to do much, and it just follows them and points, and it's there. Okay, so we'll experiment with that. Make food weightier. We already had as an example, so I'll delete that.
Yep. Oh, we definitely need to implement Esteban. Like that.
Yes. So 100%. We need to add Esteban to game. This is a must-have feature.
Yep.
Okay, done. We got Esteban. A little knockback on enemy's impact. Yeah, that'll be some nice gravy, some nice polish. Okay. When we reload, toggle the food to the type that you just reloaded to. I think this will tighten gameplay up so much better if we do that.
I agree. I think that makes a lot of sense. And like when you think about it, like if you're going through and getting a type of food, you kind of automatically expect that's the case anyway. So I agree.
I think it's just like I don't think it'll be more than, based on what we've written, I think it's just like 3 lines of code. Like I think we just need the food table to be able to connect to the food table will be able to get what it needs from the player and just tell the player to change the toggle. So we can literally just have like a function that's like a force set that's like set food type to X. And it'll just boom and it'll toggle it, and we'll just need to make sure we set the index of the toggle button. Like it's a couple changes, so I'm gonna add that as we must do it. Okay,
excellent.
We already talked about UI. It's got to happen.
Yep.
What about rebalancing the map?
So this is something that I do definitely want to experiment around with. I want to go through and see if I could just through level design make the character naturally want to move all over the place. Now that we've adjusted to like true isometric, I want to do another pass on the level. So yes, we do.
Perfect. I think particles, we'll need to figure those out, but I feel like we can definitely do those and we want them.
Yes, I want them so bad. I have so many ideas. Okay. As a matter of fact, can I do a pass on that?
Yeah, please. It's all you.
Awesome.
Okay. Honestly, like I am a better programmer than I am an art person, and I feel like you're good at both. So I would love to have you handle art.
So I did start life as an artist and spent several years of my early Unity career of creative programming. And so I feel like that kind of comes back every once in a while. Like I love programming now, but man, I could whip up some art. I enjoy that as well.
All right, health stations. I feel like this is a nice to have.
Yeah, I think it's a nice to have. But your comment about the visual shift to having like a single really big piece, I think that's very important, and that's a must have. But them getting messier, I think it is juice.
I can handle the table changes. I can make the giant rotating hot dogs and tacos, and I'll probably I think the textures. I know, right? That's a statement.
Don't take that out of context.
y'all should hear when my partner, when she tries to explain to people what I do for a living.
And they're like, hot dogs.
Yeah, and they're like, I don't know. She's like, I can hear him in his office during these Twitch streams, and he's talking about giant rotating hot dogs. I don't know that his job is real. But I think that we'll level it up. I think I want to make them brighter, and I just want to have them spin, right? I might even try to add some kind of material animation where there's like a pulsing, just maybe a light, just something to be like, this is this thing, so that it really calls it out.
Yeah. So there's no question at all. I think that's perfect.
Add hot dogs. Add food stand signs to be more visible. Okay, Q for reload. We've already got this, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna change the reload and movement.
Yep.
And then make the environment messier is you're gonna do that just with your dress up phase, right?
Yep. Gonna add stuff and things.
All right. So I guess next let's go delete all the stuff that we've already handled. And I'm going to delete who the feedback was from, just because we don't really need to know that anymore. Again, thank you to everybody that came through to help. We're going to cut this down. And now I think we're going to talk about, so this is like our priority objects. Yeah, give me a minute. I got to handle some giant rotating hot dogs. The reality. I'm also very hungry, and I might be like going to a 7-Eleven and getting some roller hot dogs.
Okay,
y'all don't know what that is.
Question,
they're delicious.
though. Thomas, which axis do the hot dogs rotate on?
They gotta be
the y-axis
or the
x-axis?
If we put them on X, they're gonna look like when you're cooking, they're on the X. But like for the sign, they've got to be on the Y.
And I think that's the core tenet of hot dogs. When you're advertising hot dogs, they rotate on the Y. When you're cooking them, it's on the X.
Yep. Z for best flavor. You know what? Neck, do your right. It's all about that Z axis. Okay, so real quick, let's look here. So monsters can show up. So we're gonna figure out how to fix this. This is out of scope, and this is out of scope. So I'm gonna take these out of here and move them down to nice to have later adds out of scope. There we go. We need to. These are requirements.
Yep.
And they don't need to be bold or underlined anymore. All right, that. Okay. This is going into. This will be we'll do a revisit.
Yep. A scope check section, if you will.
A scope check section. Because once we get our player in, I think that's going to help a bit. And we could also maybe raise the scale of the player too to make them just bigger than the monsters, right? And that might be helpful.
Yep.
Okay. UI has to be done. That's already there, so we can delete this. Visual feedback for attacks. I think we definitely need this. Oh, that's already there. Great. Okay, we think UI is going to solve that, so I'm going to delete this. This is a nice to have. It goes here. Did I already put run? Oh, by the way, thanks for hanging out while we fill out a Google Doc together, everybody. Hope you're enjoying. Welcome to Game Dev Google Docs.
Yep.
Okay, ammo, visual feedback for attacks, runs through the color space, so that's there. So we'll delete this. I'm just trying to clean up this doc so we know what we've got. So I think this will be a revisit once the orientation problem is solved.
Yep.
And I'm going to add that as a sub bullet because I really think these are related.
Yeah.
I think you're the one that brought that up, and I could not agree more. All right, we're going to cut this pizza bomb because the pizza bomb does need to be finished because that's a core part of our game.
Yep.
And then this needs to get deleted. Okay, so now we have what we need to do. So for next time, we need to integrate UI. We need to get the players tightened up. We need to get our visual feedback for attacks. We need to fix the pizza bomb and run the shot through the color thing and adjust our colors.
And do the levels and stuff.
And then do levels and stuff, yep. And then what we're going to do on the next stream, which we should discuss with all of y'all. So next week we can't stream because Freeman has to build a studio. The week after that is a Unity holiday, which means we might need to delay it 2 weeks. Keep your eye on Unity's Twitter, on my Twitter, on Joy's Twitter. What we'll do is we're going to discuss internally with everybody once like everyone that works on the stream is back. Because it is worth noting, the stream isn't just Joy Utsav and I. Hassan on our community team helps us produce everything. Stefano does our art for a lot of this stuff. Freeman behind the scenes runs production and builds this. So there's like 6 of us that make this happen. And so we just need to make sure all 6 of us are available to make it happen. And if they're willing to work on a holiday. If not, we're going to push it back 2 weeks. And that will be our final stream. And in that stream, we're going to add audio. We're going to implement our animations and our character, our throw animations. We're going to tie all that stuff together. And theoretically, we'll have a nice, really juicy final thing. And then we'll let you know where we're going from here, because I think we want to do some more of these, and I'm not sure what our next step is, but I think there might be more. We just got to look at our schedules and see what the conference season and all this other stuff looks like.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we did it. That's a stream. We did the whole thing.
We did it, guys.
We did it. So I don't have many other things to say. We've got our assignment set up. We've got everything locked and loaded. Again, thank you all so much for coming through and chatting with us. Thank you to everybody in the YouTube chat for keeping it warm and friendly. Thank you everybody in the Twitch chat for doing the same. Everybody that threw us ideas, suggestions. It's my favorite. Yeah. It's my favorite part of this, right? Like, there's no ego here. I mean, I have an ego, but I try to put it on hold before I come here, because then we all make a better product and we get to learn from each other, which is cool. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, again, like I was talking about the entire stream, but like, it's you guys who are a step away from this, not as deep as us, and pointing out the obvious things. It really genuinely helps so much, and this game wouldn't be where it is without you. You guys rock. You guys are the best.
Bestest. If you missed some of these, you're coming in for the first time, check the VODs, and we're going to send you over to Lana Lux, who's an incredible game developer. Tell her hey for us, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, be kind to each other. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.